Boys, it's official. Barcelona have now won La Liga. If you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. So that's it. Barcelona won La Liga title race. They come out on top. They did that winning their last game, or this last game they had today against Espanyol, their inner city rivals. They won 2-0. And I mean, I'm going to kind of break it down how that happened, but let's start off with the goal that kind of sums up Barcelona right here.
Lamine Yamal devant Dani Olmo, voilà, comme celle-ci.
Contrôle d'Olmo, Yamal, il va la frapper, il l'attend. Oh là 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 là! Mais quel golazo!
And that's pretty much how it goes with Barcelona. That little kid from Morocco. Morocco born, Spain raised kid. He won the Euros for Spain, arguably, right? Best player of the tournament in my eyes. And he has just been that guy. And honestly, that is their game plan, is playing with Raphina, which played a phenomenal leadership role within that Barcelona team. Thought they really needed a leader back there or within that team. He kind of filled in that spot. Before it was like Carlos Puyol and then, Piqué and Busquets and all those other dudes. But now they have Rafinha, which is interesting to have a captain or a winger as a captain. He's been great, man. I mean, him and Lamine Yamal have really kind of elevated that team, as well as Heinz Flick, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. But I kind of want to obviously give them their flowers. They won La Liga. It was tight. Nobody really had them winning the title. Everybody thought it was going to be like a rebuild year. Ter Stegen got hurt really early on. They kind of made some interesting signings. They had like the Dani Olmo, I don't know, debacle where they couldn't sign him. Then they did sign him. Then they couldn't register him. Then they could register him. It was super weird. But ultimately, Heinz Flick kind of got it done. So this is how it kind of shaped up at the top. Real Madrid were kind of close to it. There was a 3-point or a 6-point tie within the last game where we had El Clásico and we lost. And everybody pretty much knew that was going to be wraps for the whole league. But, there was kind of a glimmer of hope that Barcelona could lose today against Espanyol. And they could have had a couple tough matches. Real Madrid got their business done yesterday. They beat, I forgot who they beat, but they beat them. And like I said, man, it's kind of one of those things where Barcelona deserved it. It's kind of hard to take it away from them because they played so well. And this is the table right here, but I want to show you their goal differential where they really kind of elevated. They kind of separated themselves from Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. So as you can tell, the goal differential 61. And these are low numbers for Atletico and Real Madrid. I think these are like one of those things where Real Madrid have very bad defense. Obviously, everybody knows this. They had their issues within the defensive side of the ball, and they weren't great on offense. But I mean, Barcelona, they didn't really give up too many goals for and allowed. You see, scored 97 goals, allowed 36 goals, and Real Madrid 74 and 38. I mean, that's what it kind of boils down to. Whereas, Barcelona defended really well. They kind of had, like I said, a shape. Their defense isn't phenomenal, but it kind of gets by, right? It's enough to do the job. And this is kind of how their season went. So as you can tell, this is their whole season as a whole. They lost 5 games. They drew 4 games, and the rest were wins, man. I mean, it's really hard to beat a team that kind of gets it all done or gets it done in a complete package. I mean, they had a great season. I don't think anybody saw this. I thought after watching Lamine Yamal in the Euros, everybody was like, okay, what is it going to look like for Barcelona? Because obviously they're a good team. Everybody knows they can be a good team. They just had like their financial turmoils and all those other aspects that are kind of outside of football, right? Where it's like the business aspect, not so much the footballing aspect. They made some great signings with Lewandowski. They kept on to Frankie de Jong, where everybody thought he was going to go to United. He didn't. He stayed. He stuck it out. He played well. They found Kubarsi. Kubarsi was really well. Yeah, man, I think that Barcelona, they deserve the season like this. They deserve to be a contender, to fight for things, and to compete in Spain because realistically, nobody wants Spain, one of the biggest leagues in the world, to be like a 1-team or 2-team race, right? It is a 3-team race, to be fair, but that third team, Barcelona, it's kind of necessary to have them. Obviously, they have history. They have 5 Champions Leagues. They had Messi, Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry, Samuel Eto'o, Piqué, Puyol, all those other dudes. I mean, Xavi Iniesta, right? They deserve to be within that like conversation of, hey, this team is dangerous and they can be dangerous, and you have to watch out for them. So happy for them. I hate them with all my guts, but hey, that's how the football world is, right? Sometimes your rivals are really good, and that's what makes them rivals. So like I said earlier, it's Heinz Flick. It starts and ends with him. He's a great coach. He had a lot of success at Bayern. He came in, kind of turned this Barcelona team on its head and said, hey man, we don't need money. We don't need all the fancy stuff. We found a gem in Lamine Yamal. I mean, right? That's arguably lucky, but you see a lot of times these players, these teams have talent within their academy, but they don't slot in well because they think that they're too young, or they're not ready for the stage. Kind of like when Real Madrid first signed Vinicius. Vinicius was kind of like, I forgot what the quote was from Benzema, where he was like, this guy's playing against us. He's not playing with us. Then there was like a big turmoil, like, hey, Benzema hates Vinicius. Vinicius is a great player, but he's not ready for this team. He's too selfish. Then you saw Vinny go into Castilla, Real Madrid Castilla, the below league, and he played well. He matured a little bit. He came back in, had some great seasons after that. So you didn't really see that with Lamine Yamal, though. He went into the Euros, played out of his skin, and like I said, man, it's one of those things where sometimes you find a gem, like kind of like Real Madrid did this year with Raúl Asensio. It happens like that. I thought that he was ultimately the difference maker for them. He kind of, with the coach and Lamine Yamal coming out of the woodwork, that whole catalyst happened within that like fusion of all these things that kind of pushed Barcelona above and beyond what everybody thought they were going to be. And then, like I said, Heinz Flick, one of the best coaches right now. He won the domestic treble, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, and La Liga. And I mean, hats off to that guy. He turned his team, like I said, on its head and kind of turned this whole organization around, which, to be fair, they had like, what, a 5-year run of awful times. I think they're okay, actually, during COVID, but that was like Lewandowski's Ballon d'Or year that he got stolen from. But like I said, he brought this team around. They had a lot of dark days. He kind of came in, turned it around. Like I said, earlier on in the year, they had like their financial turmoil still. They had the time where they wanted to sign Nico Williams, they wanted to sign Dani Olmo and all these other things, and they just couldn't, right, due to financial reasons. But he came in and said, hey, you know what? I don't need them. I just need to pick players that want to come in and we have a vision, and they fit into my vision, and they can compete and they can perform within what I want. He signed Lewandowski, Kubarsi, Dani Olmo. He ultimately got. I mean, he brought in Szczesny when Ter Stegen got injured. And like I said, they've just been really, really consistent. They've done really well. He kind of, like I said, man, turned that team upside down. And like I said, it's kind of one of those things where any team has the capability of doing something like this. It's just so a matter of like getting a coach that can like put everything into action, plan it out, write everything down, and make the players go believe in what you're saying and what you're doing. And like I said, belief in what this guy has to offer you. You're not going to play for a coach that's just like, hey, man, go do whatever you want. Like kind of how it was with Xavi. When Xavi was a coach, everybody thought he was going to be the guy to get them out of that slump. He wasn't. Turned out they just needed Heinz Flick, and he got it done for them. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll get you next time. Peace.